Hello and welcome to Dwarf Fortress, be it on Twitch or YouTube, where I think I'm going to export this VOD, so people can watch it there as well. This game is very, very different from pretty much every game I've ever played in my life. It's been in development since 2006, on and off, by a single person. However, this game is absurdly complex. The way you start this game is you end up, or first of all, you create the world. Hello, Whiskey. First of all, you create the world itself, and when you create the world itself, it creates like an absurd amount of creatures, of like religions, of political organizations, of songs, of books, and of poems, and everything for that world. And then you can explore that. But all that stuff is just backdrop. All that is like backdressing for the game itself. Hello, Bobbert. So the game itself, you play as a person running a dwarven fortress. So this world here is called Elasnitom. That is Dwarvish. There is a language for this game as well. Like each like race has its own language. I don't know what those words mean, but most words in Dwarven are compound words of two different words. So I don't know what that one means, but let's launch into the Dwarf Fortress. The graphics of this game are something else. I've got a graphics pack running so that it'll be a bit easier to see what's going on. Oh god, and now the music is starting and I need to adjust that. The other music, hold on. So the mod, or the utility I'm running has custom music running as well. Which is pretty awesome. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so that I can hear myself think. Let me know if the volume is okay and everything. Hello, Harry. So what's going on right now is the game is simulating about half a month of time. So you can see the this is the calendar for the dwarves, and you can see the time is ticking here, day by day. So this is going to basically create it's going to set the stage for what's going on in the world when we start, so that the world doesn't seem like it just began. I also generated 472 years of history for this world. So that includes like the history of ancient myths, of political organizations, of nations, of people, etc., etc. And in the next update for this game, there's going to be a system where it generates the cosmology and the magic systems for the world. It's going to be wild. So this stuff is probably confusing as all hell that you're looking at right now. These are three screens: local, region, and world screen. So these are different zoom levels for the world I'm looking at here. On the right side here, you can see some information about what we're looking at. This is the cursor here. I'm moving this, by the way, with the keyboard, like the numpad. So this cursor here, this tile that I'm looking at, which you can see is zoomed in over here, that tile is or has the river, the turquoise something fall. I'm guessing that is, I actually don't know what that means, but it's that's been contracted because the word itself can't fit on the screen. The area is called the Fields of Assaulting, all randomly generated. The names are ridiculous in this game. Yeah, this stuff is represented by like ASCII tiles, like letters and stuff. Once we get into the game itself, it will be graphical. And I also have some 3D visualizers we can use as well if we want to look at the world in a 3D perspective, or like an isometric perspective at least. There's a fully 3D one as well. So let's see. This place I'm looking at is really good, though it's right next to, you can see the blue here, that's rivers. And all these blue letters, these are human settlements. But it's right next to this, which is purple, and this is what's called a Goblin Pit. And the goblin, or a goblin like settlement or something, this is called Nogombor. Don't know too much about that one. They all have like names in Goblin here. They look kind of orcish if you're familiar with the black tongue in Lord of the Rings. These Omega signs here, they are mountain homes, meaning dwarven settlements, so they are our allies. And these yellow ones, they are elven, usually in forests. Now the elves, they can be allies, but they can also be right bastards. Generally, they can impose tariffs on you and various, like, impose wood or like logging quotas on you so that you can't log too many or chop down too many trees, or they get upset and declare war on you. And that's annoying. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit more, because it picked up a little bit there. Alright, let's see. So we need to find a good place to settle, and the first thing when you do that is you hit F for find desired location, and you want to like input a couple of things. Hello, Kyokyo. You want to input a couple of parameters for the place you want to settle. So first of all, you want deep metals, you want shallow metals. Ideally, you want a river, but that will be easy to find. Aquifer, I've turned those off. Those are basically a, yeah, no aquifers, Kyoko. I hate aquifers. But I've turned those off in the settings, so we don't have to worry about that. And fluxstone layer, yes, you want that, because you need fluxstone in order to create steel. Clay and soil, I mean, we want all those, but we'll probably find them. And then I hit enter to do search, and it's going to start searching here. And you'll see it sort of progress across the screen over here. All the red squares are places where it didn't find anything, or it didn't meet all the requirements for our parameters, while the green ones are places that did. By the way, there are 3 modes to play this game in. Dwarf Fortress, which is the main one, where you create a fortress of dwarves and run that fortress. There's also Adventure, where you play a single person, which is kind of like an RPG almost, in a free roam world, the same world you played Fortress in. You can in fact create a fortress, see that fortress fall to ruin, and then you can go and explore it as the adventurer and try to reclaim the artifacts that you created. And a third mode is Legends, where you basically go through the historical documents of the world and everything and look through the history, which is very, very interesting as well. You can find some hilarious stuff. And I will probably do that at some point in the future. Like have a look at the legends of this world so that we can like learn what happened before we started. Yeah, let's see. We've got a bunch of eligible places. Oh, whoops, I just did a search on that again. Sorry. We'll stop the search here because I hit enter instead of escape. It seems as if pretty much the entire world is eligible, so we can probably just like move the cursor around and have a look. We want to settle somewhere near the mountain homes, which you see there are some in the southwest here. Wesky, yeah, it's super complex. So this blue stuff here, this is a political organization. These are the mountain home. This is our civilization right now. If I hit tab, I can see neighbors at the point we're at right now. So we can see dwarves, goblins, humans, and elves. The red line means we're at war with them, so we're at war with the goblins. Go northeast here. We see a tower. That's a necromancer tower, so kind of like Sauron, I guess, in Mirkwood. Humans, elves, goblins, dwarves. If I go into the ocean, we have dwarven neighbors, apparently. This is a glacier, which is apparently evil, because it's purple. The color of evil. And, let's see. If I do tab here, I can choose a civilization. There are only 2 dwarven civilizations. One in the southwest, the Standard of Stoking, that is the translated name from Dwarven to our language, to English. The Standard of Stoking, or the Vessel of Lances. And the Vessel of Lances is all the way up here in the north, next to a tower. That's the purple eye there. Over here. So we gotta pick one of 2 extremes, either far in the north or far in the south. The south seems cold, because we got the glacier. So it does have, like, huge forests here, which is interesting. What's the temperature like here? Temperature temperate, okay. And if we go further southeast, it becomes cold and freezing almost immediately. I've never seen that before. If we go far north, we get to... Yeah, this is hot. You can see here top right. Hot, scorching, etc. So I probably don't want to settle where it's scorching, because that seems like a bad idea. I'm going to settle down south, and I'm going to settle next to all this bad shit. Hopefully we don't die. We have a lot of friends in this area, this region. This region is called... This is the Fields of Assaulting and the Hill of Yawns. The mountains are the Walls of Relieving. Or the Wall of Relieving. That's a mountain change. These names are nonsense, but I love them. Okay, let's see. if we can't find a sand, some soil, deep metals, flux stone layer. Let's hit tab so that we get this view where we can see the elevation. The elevation is decent. 1 is like closer to 0 is less elevation, closer to 9 is more elevation. So the elves are a bunch of scum, like always, from the dwarf perspective. Yes. The elves are, they are less than human and deserve none of our mercy. Given the chance, we will, probably perform numerous war crimes and numerous crimes against humanity, against them. So I'm going to try this this tile here. It has deep metals and fluxstone layer. No shallow metals though. Hold on, I'm just gonna double check. There are shallow metals over here, but that's closer to all the bad shit. How about here, maybe? Temperate, other vegetation, moderate, surroundings is wilderness. If this is like blue, you get like unicorns and stuff. If it's purple, you get, you know, zombies and stuff. And yeah, this seems good. Temperate shrubland. Trees, woodland. We got enough trees. No river though. That should be fine. We can. I have a solution for the water situation because you need water in winter. The water up on the surface freezes, so you need to find water elsewhere. And we will have a bunch of enemies nearby, just the way I like it. Embark. So now we're embarking. Now we have to choose how we're going to like equip our dwarves. I'm going to go for how in-depth are the politics of the game, both domestic and geopolitical. So right now, the politics are not super in-depth. Most of the in-depth stuff comes in the next update, but I believe at the moment there are, like, you can have political parties, you can have, you have intrigue, you have, like, individual things that will impact the opinions of the various politicians in charge and how they make decisions. However, you as a player don't get to interact too much with that, and that's kind of the weirdness of this game. There's so much shit that's going on that you don't necessarily interact with. However, you can, in theory, as an adventurer in the adventurer mode, go to a person, I believe tell them that someone else said something stupid about them, and then that impacts their opinion of them, and that could lead to an eventual war. Like, there's like tiny things like this that, I don't know, it's super complex. If you read the dev diaries, you might think you're reading the like the journal of an insane person that you found inside like a decrepit haunted house or something. I'm not joking, it's wild. Let's go with, I think Nebulatron is a pretty good one. It's a pretty balanced one. Embark preparations were not completed, so this means that we were missing something that we needed for the embark, which means you have 44 points left. As you can't form Dwarven constitutional monarchy with liberal democracy and free press. Not at the moment in the fortress mode. However, in theory, that should be possible in future versions. Are the goblins united into one faction, or are there like more smaller factions of them? So the goblins, like the dwarves, all have their own nations and stuff, and each nation can go to war with each other, though goblins very rarely, I believe, find a reason to go to war with each other. What can happen, though, is, for example, a dwarf can be elected a leader of a goblin faction, and for some reason decide that the goblins need to go to war with another goblin faction. Or sometimes he isn't elected, he, like, convinces them he's a god, or kills their leader, depending on their laws for, you know, how they become leaders and stuff. It all happens, like, in the, below the hood or whatever, so you don't necessarily see all this happening. Or how it happens. I'm gonna grab a couple of animals, I think, because we've got a bunch of... we've got 44 points. We can't buy... We can buy some goats, or, like, pigs, maybe. We can buy a goat. Yeah, individual characters can happen to end up in a faction of a different race to what they are. Yep, so you can end up with a Goblin King of a Dwarven faction. That's possible. Let's see, we've got 2 cats, we've got dogs, we've got... Let's see, maybe we'll grab... We can't afford another anvil, because that's 300 points. We can afford a crossbow, but I don't necessarily need that. I'm going to buy another pickaxe, because that's exactly 44 points. So now let's look at the name for the fortress. Our fortress is called Focusedchannel. I actually like that. I don't mind that. Focusedchannel, that's our fort. You can see the Dwarven name at the top, Athamcatten, and at the bottom, Focusedchannel. That's me. Alright, done. That's randomly generated. So the group, this is our, not our nation, because our nation is the civilization, but our, like... our city or whatever, our faction, I guess. So currently it's called the Ceiling of Gleaming. Let's hit R and randomize. The Autonomous Glove. That one isn't bad. The Autonomous Glove. Let's go with the Autonomous Glove and then Symbol. So this one you actually can, yeah, Ale is Mob Dug. You can manually create a symbol here. So currently the symbol is called the Fenced Viper. Let's so if I had read the history of the world, I could have looked for individual characters and incorporated them into the flag of our nation, like historical people, the the founder of the civilization, the one of our gods, for example. Let's look at historical figures. These are a bunch of historical figures here. I'll just hold the scroll down key so you can see how many there are. We're still on A. Just to give you an idea of how much world generation happens. We're still on A. If you look at this, it says Adi Azurstops is a goblin born in 303. He is the 3rd eldest son of Pazor Bristleslipped and Mukka Blowing Oceans. So yeah, that is a bit wild. So I'm just gonna do filter, glove. Wait, shit. Yeah, glove. Yeah, I see. See, I see all the shit, and I go, why the fuck would anyone even learn this shit? What do you mean learn this shit? Learn this history and stuff. 1 glove, and that glove is, let's see. Oh, learn Dwarf Fortress, because it's fun, dude. This glove, what is the glove on a symbol doing? It is, no, it's not just text, you'll see, hold on. The glove is striking a triumphant pose. No, actually, no, hold on. The glove is striking a menacing pose. Yeah, and the name of this, the symbol is the awe-inspiring. Is it giving the finger? Yes. So it's a D, right? And then the awe-inspiring. Wait, hold on. First adjective. Let's make this. Oh, we can't make it the rude glove. Oh, the awe-inspiring glove. Done. I'm gonna just... Nah, I'm not gonna save this. Okay, let's embark. Actually, let's look at the dwarves. We've got Ilral. Okay, no, let's not look at the dwarves because we're gonna rename them all after people in the chat. And in Discord and Patreon and all that. He said something. Graydon. Is that the name you want? Yeah, we have a lot of distinct professions here. peasants. Oh, you mean on the right? Yeah, there's a lot of different professions. So, you have arrived after a journey from the mountain home into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Lorbam Guzgash, that is the nation. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you. Remember that. We need to remember, just before winter we get supplies, or we can trade for them. We need to get something to trade back for the supplies. But it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings. Here the dingoes get hungry. Okay, so there are dingoes here. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here, at this place. Athamcatten, Focusedchannel. Strike the earth. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, Harry. Harry, you can also type this. This the music, by the way, is from a third-party plugin called SoundSense. It's also included in a starter pack, which you can actually download if you just type in exclamation point DF DL, I think, or DLDF. I don't remember which one I made it. Let me try. There we go. That's a link to the starter pack that I'm using, which has graphics utilities and, you know, various other utilities that make the game a lot easier to play. We're just waiting for the game to load here. It takes a while the first time you load up the area. There we go. Let's pause. And let's begin to explain what we're looking at here. So first of all, you can use the mouse to hover over stuff, so that's a trunk pillar, so that's a trunk of a tree. If I zoom, or if I go up, you can see more of the tree. This game is represented in a strange way. So, for example, let's see, there's not a lot of elevation on this area, so I can't actually show you. Oh no, here we go. So, you see this stuff up here? This is the level of elevation we are looking at right now. And this stuff is the level of elevation below. This is the Gemset tileset. It's my favorite tileset, I think. And this, if I go down one level, these are ramps. You can see in the bottom right here. Light grass ramp, which leads up here. So for someone to go from here to here, they travel up that ramp. These are the, this is the wall, so if you were to remove the ramp, you could access that wall. You see a soil wall. There, and you can see same stuff here, and the same stuff if you zoom up with the trees, and now we're going above the trees until we can no longer see them. And not only that, we can also go down below the earth, but currently we don't see anything there because we haven't delved down yet. These are our dwarves over here, and let's see, we should give them some names first. So I'm going to take you over. The ground doesn't look much like ground. Which what do you mean? What aspect of it doesn't look much like ground? This stuff. So they have different tiles depending on what kind of soil it is. It's floating in the blackness. Do you mean this? Oh, this stuff is just this is just blackness because we can't see what's in here. You gotta like actually open up a tile next to it to see what's actually in here. So we can see these tiles only because those are the roots of trees that extend down. Oh, you mean this stuff? Oh, I mean, that's just for visual clarity. If everything was just straight up green, it would be kind of hard to tell some stuff apart from the background. There are some mods that make the grass fully green, but I find it becomes really hard to watch on like smaller screens and stuff, like even harder than this, and I can zoom in if you need to. But let's see. So I can hit tab to remove the map view here, that we can see here, which I'm probably not going to be using a lot, and only have the keybinds up here. We probably won't be using the keybinds too much either, and I can, in theory, play with this and then have this screen actually be a 3D visualizer for you guys. And I'm going to try that in a, like, later on in the stream. Oops. I didn't mean to swap scenes there, but I was gonna add a view to... hold on here. I'm gonna let you guys see what I'm doing in a separate utility here. Apparently that is not wanting to work. Okay, I'm gonna do something quickly here. There we go, and yeah, it doesn't seem to let you want to let you actually look at what I'm seeing, which is too bad, honestly, because that complicates things. It worked when I did my test, but oh well. So instead, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So I'm going to be changing the names of the dwarves in another utility called Dwarf Therapist, which also shows the skills of the individual dwarves. We can do that in-game as well, but the utility is just so much better. It lets me like look at the thoughts of the individual dwarves and everything. So the leader of the expedition is a woman. Her name is Moses Asbadan. Let's see, which one is that? That's Moses Asbadan there. And her cat, which is below her. Moses Asbadan. I'll name Fredda, why not? And now if I hover over them, you can see their nickname is now Fredda. Fredda Asbadan. So let's see, who wants to be the, let's see, the miner. I'm going to... We have a... Is that? I believe that's... yeah, we have a bisexual miner. They actually show sexual, like the dwarf sexuality, because that actually impacts how they look for partners and stuff. Because that's important if you're trying, for example, to play a fortress that exclusively relies on, like, dwarves having children, as opposed to migrants. I'm just gonna name the bisexual miner after Grey. So now I got Grey on. Was that correct there? The hunter, I'll name... Actually, yeah, the hunter I'll name... that's Inod. Okay, I've named a bunch of them now, so now we can see we've got Muparadzi the hunter. You've got Wesky the farmer. And we've got... Where is he? There's Bobbert the mason. Let's see, should we name, who should Kyoko be? Yeah, I mean, Wesky, you can eventually be drafted into the military, don't worry. But for now, you'll be farming mushrooms. Carpenter, I guess, will make Kyoko. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do, hit D. So this is where the game gets insane. Well, every aspect of this game is insane, but this is where the doesn't even carps. No, you don't carp in Dwarf Fortress because carps are lethal. You do not carp in Dwarf Fortress. They're just great. Google Dwarf Fortress carp. Google images, and you'll see plenty of art of carps eating dwarves. They were one of the most dangerous animals in the game several versions ago. Anyways, so the first thing you want to do, hit D. That is the designate menu, where you designate jobs that you want people to do that aren't building. So you can see here, T is chop down trees. So I know these hotkeys by hand, but if you don't, this is one of the most cumbersome aspects of the game. Possibly the most cumbersome. So you just hit DT to start chopping down trees. Then you start a designation from one point. You can see this, I hit enter, you can see this plus thing here. And then you box select, essentially. Hit enter again, and now you can see those went black with like little dots next to them. Those have now been designated to be chopped, and now you can see the carpenter has begun chopping down this tree. Now, I need to preface this before they chop down this tree. What can happen here is because this is a quite a large tree and someone is standing right below it. Depending on which way this falls, we may have to show off the medical system. So let's find out. Oh, did anyone get hit? I don't think anyone got hit by that. No, we're good. So, he's going off to chop trees. Wesky here. Meanwhile, we need to start digging. So, what we do is we hit D again, designate, J, to create a down stair. This is the way I like to make my... yeah, fuck trees, get money. Fuck the elves, dude. They're gonna get upset with us anyways. So this is the way I like to make my starting entrance. It's very simple. Actually, no, I'm going to do something a bit more complex. I'm going to do a channel. Channel is where you basically dig a ramp down. Am I going to die via felled tree? That'd be a Canadian way to go. You're not wrong, yeah. You're probably going to die to something even stupider. Because that's a Dwarf Fortress way. So we've dug down here. So those ramps, they can go down those ramps. And now I'm going to dig D and then D. From mine here, or D for mine apparently, D for dig, and designate a hallway here. Resume with spacebar, and now you can see the miners getting at it. It's quite like they mine like soil very fast, but once we get into the actual like rock and stuff, it takes longer. We also need to like carry the rock out of the tunnels and everything. It becomes a whole process. Yeah, we've chopped down a bunch of trees actually. We should probably chop down some more, and we should DP to gather plants. Select a big area, and now you can see they are gathering plants. The farmer Wesky here. Well, right now he's chopping down trees still. No, Harry is correct. Elves aren't... like, they're not worth anything. You, like, don't concern yourself with the elves. Okay, so I'm gonna dig out here and create a central staircase, I think. Which is going to be an up-down stair. UD stair here. Stairs are one of the things that confuse Dwarf Fortress players, early Dwarf Fortress players the most. Because they're like, okay, I'll make it downstairs, and then they don't realize that below that downstairs you make an upstairs as well. But yeah, I made up downstairs because they go both ways. It has started raining. On the 21st of Granite, year 472. So now I'm going to designate a long central stairway. I'm going far down, you can see selection here. Like that. Hitting F1 to go back upstairs to our hotkeyed main area here. By hitting Shift H, you can designate hotkeys. So I've got the gate is F1 there. We have struck malachite. That is bronze, isn't it? Oh god, it's that is loud, stormy. We stopped playing Stalker, but we still have not escaped the rain. By stop playing Stalker, I mean we aren't playing Stalker right now. We're still gonna stream that sometime else in the future. Or some other time is probably the way to say it. I'm not gonna play I yet. Maybe someday, dude. Calm it with the insistence on playing I, dude. Oh! You have discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. That sound is interesting. That is the sound effect from the intro of the game, where a dwarf digs open a cave and hell comes out. So now I'm going to hit X and designate this area again, and basically abort what we're doing. Because while it looks like you can't get through here, creatures can move in 8 directions in this game. So they can move through that diagonal space there. For example, this giant bat here can decide to fuck us up. Looks like the universe dug our fortress for us. Oh no, we do not want to be down here. This is bad news. Like, you see this? Giant cave spider silk web? Something made that web. And that giant bat might come and harass us. And worse. Just having a look to see what's in here. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit B first, and then I'm going to do capital C for construction. I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build it right there, and I'm going to build it out of the closest material, which is phyllite, or phyllite. And then I'm going to hope that someone builds this right now. I'm going to resume, and... okay, the giant bat hasn't... okay, yeah, they built the wall immediately. Built a pillar there, so they blocked off that entrance. So now, we won't have a giant bat coming in to our central staircase here. Now, it looks like this part, this here, area, is safe. So what I'm gonna do is, by the way, you can use the mouse for a lot of the stuff, like I can click and drag to dig. I just have gotten used to doing it with a keyboard. I assume we don't have access to giant cans of raid yet. No, we don't, and they're actually called magma reservoirs, but we will in the future. Do you actually use raid against bats? Or was that for the spiders? I'm guessing you don't use them as against bats, because that would possibly be like animal cruelty. Raid is like insect spray, dude. This song is jammin'. Yeah, but neither are spiders, dude. Spiders aren't insects either, but it works against them too. At least I'm pretty sure spiders aren't insects. Oh no, yeah, spiders can be super scary in Dwarf Fortress. If you've got armor and stuff, they're not a problem though. You can deal with them. I mean, I believe you can even tame them in some circumstances, and can make them make silk for you. So this stuff is soil, so we can actually start setting up farms. So this area is going to be within our defenses, and this is going to be outside our defenses. We're going to build defenses out here, like ballistas and stuff. We'll have traps and whatnot in this hallway. That's for the future, though. Over here, I'm going to set up a... actually, I'll make a hallway that goes out like... See, I'll dig this out a little bit, and then it'll make a hallway out this way. And I'll set up a bunch of farming stuff over here. See, first we'll want the farms themselves. I like to make farms like this, in this shape. So I'm building farms underground, so you might be saying, how's that gonna work? The answer is we're farming mushrooms. You generally don't want to do above ground farming because, oh shit, those are roots, which means that if we chop down that tree, those roots might disappear and leave a hole. Actually, if you chop down trees above ground and there's just like one tile between them, it can often crash through the roof anyways. I've had goblins jump into holes like that before. It's very annoying. Hold on, I'm gonna check something. Build farm plot. Yeah, this is the perfect size. So if I hit B and then P, I can build a farm plot. You can see the red X's here. They're red because it's blocked right now, but once this stuff gets dug out, this stuff here, we'll build the farm plots there. And we'll have seed storage and stuff nearby so they can easily grab that. If you played RimWorld, you might be seeing some similarities in this game to RimWorld. Yeah, Gray. Farming mushrooms underground. We're going to be farming what's called, or known as, plump helmets. Plump helmets make excellent nourishment, and they're also excellent for wine. You can see we've dug out this area, right? But you can see tiny mushrooms here, like moss and stuff, that started growing on the ground. That's because we breached the underground cavern layer where this stuff grows, so the spores have spread out into our fortress. Can you trade, for example, with the elves? Yes, you can. And the elves sometimes, like the only useful thing elves sell is, they sell exotic animals, so they can sell you like tigers and stuff. Also, what is this? Oh, that's a tree frog. You can see up here when I'm selecting something, you can see what I'm looking at. Green tree frog. Let's have a look to see if there's any cool animals around. I can also hit, I think it's, what's the view units thing where you can see like what animals and stuff are in the world. Should be V, but it's not. Oh well, let's go down to the farms again, make sure that they're set up. I'm gonna set up a hotkey here. And this will be called farms. And we will start making plump helmets. I'm setting up the agenda for farming for each season here, so each season you can see here A, B, C, D. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Each season has different stuff that grows in it. So you see cave wheat doesn't grow in spring, but it does grow in autumn. But plump helmets grow year-round. Imagine having to eat mushrooms for the rest of your life. Well, no. We're also going to possibly be eating elves. That's a lie, though. We can't actually eat elves. Dwarves don't eat elves. Alright, see ya, Bobbert. No, elves don't eat sticks. Elves eat people. Elves eat dwarves, humans, and other elves, and goblins and stuff. Elves are the only race in dwarf fortress that actually, whose ethics allow for the eating of other creatures. This is why elves are trash. Oh, what happened? The emu is fighting. So this is a combat report. So we can see here, the hunter Muparadzi shoots a flying copper bolt, strikes the emu in the lower body, tearing the muscle and tearing the guts. The combat system is very, very, very intricate in this game. Tearing the muscle and tearing the guts. The emu looks sick. The emu looks sick, the emu vomits, it retches, it vomits, it retches, so... That emu is probably gonna die. There it is. You can see the blue there, I believe, is because it is scared, and the green X is because it is nauseous. And this is Muparadzi here, firing off his copper bolts. I'm gonna hit dot to do one step to see he's firing off another one. Yep, it hit. You can see blood on the ground there. Don't know who coughed. Know why. So he's just standing there firing off copper bolts, even though the emu is, like, basically dead. This is a colossal waste of copper bolts. Oh, we had a job that got cancelled, I think. That's that strange Windows-esque sound. Oh, he's out of bolts, I think. Flying copper bolt strikes the emu in the left lower leg, tearing the muscle and bruising the bone. Tearing the right lung, an artery has been opened by the attack. The flying bolt strikes the emu in the right wing and the injured part is cloven asunder. Yeah, the combat system can get a bit gruesome. So he just killed an emu, so that means that we need to make a butcher's shop so that that doesn't rot. So I'm gonna hit B, W for workshops, and then Z is for the kitchen. Sorry, K is for the clothier. I forget the stuff. H is for the fishery. I mean, we'll build that as well. Butcher is U. There we go. So I'm placing this like 3x3 here. And making it out of sand, pear, wood, logs, closest logs we can find. We'll probably deconstruct it later on. Move all of that stuff inside the fortress. So let's find some stone layers where we can actually build something. Maybe let's dig down a little bit and try to find another couple of layers where we can build the, the full fort itself. We want to start digging out houses and stuff for our dwarves. Motherfucker, okay. That sound is going to get annoying. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let's have a look. I'm gonna keep an eye out to see what sound that is. And I'm going to delete the sound file. Yeah, he cancelled his hunting mission because he's got no ammo. Now we've got the butcher shop set up, so we should be butchering the emu. Yep, there he goes. I've struck amethyst. Cool. We can sell that later on. Yeah, malachite is, of course, it's copper, right? Malachite, this. Oh yeah, this place looks good to start the fort itself. So I like to build a, almost like a park area that's around the central staircase, from which I build some other stuff, like I build the houses and stuff. So from here I'm going to... see, how big should this be? We Want it to be symmetrical. It's going to be kind of huge. Like that, and then I'm going to cut off the corners here so we can make it a bit rounded. And let's see, what's the center of these squares? I think it's oh, should we actually need that one for it to be like the center to be valid or whatever? Actually, no, this works probably. Like that. As I'm making pillars in the center here, which we can actually use to engrave the history of our fortress on. Hopefully this does not look too terrible once it's done. Let me know if you see that this is like obviously not symmetrical, but I think it is. No, it is obviously not symmetrical. I just saw it now. Look at this. Gradar has been banned for 2 seconds for spamming caps. Good one, Gray. Yeah, I see the problem. There we go. That should be it, right? So this is the like the central. I wouldn't call this like a meeting hall because it's probably not going to be that, but it's just like a central hub from which we can, like the spokes of a wheel or whatever, will extend some stuff out from here. We'll set up a couple of like offices and stuff here for nobles and administrators and whatnot, and we'll build the housing on different floors. Let's see, is there anything else we should be doing? Probably chop down a couple more trees, anger the elves a little bit more. And we are planting, yeah, we're planting stuff. I can probably dig out some seed storage here. That little, like, hole here is probably gonna do just fine for seed storage for the time being. We'll want more in the future, though. You have discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Shit. So that didn't work out. So it turns out we have found another Cavern Network. The good thing is that now we know how to plan our stuff better because we know that there is water down here. Also, what are you? Was that a frog? That's an olm. Oh, those are like the mudkips or whatever. The like tiny things that look like dragons that swim in the water, right? Or what is it? What is the red stuff in the caverns? Oh, this stuff here. Those are giant mushrooms that poke out of the water. So they look kind of like trees. So this is actually a tree here. I don't know what kind of tree though, because why would it have leaves if it's, oh, it's a spore tree. What the fuck is that? And this is a tunnel tube. All kinds of strange things that grow underground. tower cap. You can chop them down and you can eat them, I think. Or you can make stuff out of them. What's that? That is a... That's a bat. A normal bat. So yeah, we need to replan this stuff. So maybe up here we'll... Actually, those cavern layers are way too close. How is that possible? We'll need to dig even deeper, I think. Hopefully this world isn't like extremely shallow, because then we can't do any like cool stuff underground. If it's very shallow, we'll have to yeah, we'll have to rethink a few things. We can still probably make this area into something something interesting, though, I think. Do I have to buy this game on Steam? I see that, but it can't be bought. So the game isn't out yet on Steam. It's going to be out in the future with fully like official graphics packs, official music, I think, and sound effects. At the moment, though, you can download it for free if you just type in exclamation point. What is it? Exclamation point DLDF in the chat, and you'll have a link. But yeah, the game on Steam will be released at some point with official support and everything. But at the moment, it's just the like free version that you can download, which has been in development since 2006. It's a bit more complicated to get into than I think the official Steam version is going to be. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna dig out first before we... Or outwards, before we try to plan the entire meeting hall or whatever this time. Just in case we get all our hopes and dreams crushed against the against a rock again. Also, we can probably dig out storage. This level would make excellent storage because it's clay, and clay will not drop rocks, which will not take up space. So we can probably make a cool storage floor here. Great, please no political stuff like that in the chat. I know it's a joke, and I know... And I appreciate the joke, but still. US politics like that gets... Like, that gets vitriolic on Twitch, I think. You have discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Well, okay then. It's fine, dude. So maybe we'll build leftwards then, and... Dude, there are way too many caverns here. Petitions available. A man has joined or come to the fortress, and he wants to... Or he's a monster hunter who's come to the fortress, and he wants to go down into the caverns and kill monsters. I'm not going to open the caverns for him, so... No thank you, your services are not needed. Okay, there we go. Alright, dude, take care. I'm going to sleep now. It's 12:30 here. Yeah, dude. You probably should go then, yeah. Good night, dude. I'm not gonna let that guy stay here for the purpose of eradicating monsters. I'll let him go. Yeah, no need for witchers in our Dwarf Fortress. Don't even know, like, what species that person was. Like, sometimes you'll get humans or elves, or sometimes even goblins who will want to stay here. Depending on the political goings-ons in the world, or goings-on in the world. Yeah, let's build a... actually, yeah, we need to make a Carpenter's Workshop. I forgot. BWC, Carpenters Workshop. Just place one down here. Oh no, dude. I mean, the goblins will eat mushrooms. They totally will, but I don't know. I think they're like actually very smart and also more interested in blood and suffering. We're gonna make some beds here, so I can just hit Q to select the workshop, hit A to add a new task. Sorry, I do this stuff like without thinking about it, so I just forget that I need to like explain this to people who have never played this before. Add a new task and then just hit B, because B is the hotkey for bed. And now I'll just do A, B, A, B, A, B to add a new task, and B a couple of times. You can also just hit R to repeat the task if you want to. But that just repeats it ad infinitum, so you can end up creating a million beds when you don't need that many. Oh, and we also probably need doors, and we also need food storage. I'm going to create food storage over here. Oops. Because the food storage needs to be quite large. And it needs to have access to the main stairway. Because people need to bring the food down to the dining halls once we build those. Whoa. The troll is fighting. Oh, there are two trolls fighting somewhere. Wait, no, the troll releases the grip of the troll's right hand from the giant bat's right upper leg. So there's a troll wrestling a giant bat somewhere. So that's the troll over there. With a spattering of troll blood. See him over here. Where's the giant bat? That's a normal bat. Oh, there it was. Yeah, there it is. Hold on, I need to check if that thing is injured. Yeah, so I hit I or V to look at the creature and then W to look at the wounds, and you can see the right paw is injured. All that, the orange stuff is injured stuff. You can see all these body parts, which are unique for each creature. Let's look at the troll then. His left lower leg was fucked up. His left lung and his pancreas were also fucked up. Apparently. So that troll is one of the many reasons we don't want to have an opening to the caverns at the moment. Gonna build some wooden doors as well. I'm gonna build the mason workshop for Bobbert. So that's the carpenter Kyokyo is whittling away at those beds so that we have a place to sleep. We have an axe dwarf visiting, almost Kikrust Duthnur. Or Kikrustno Duthnur or something like that. There he goes, and he's hanging around by the wagon that we came in with. Let's have a look if we can't open up the 3D visualizer and show you that. Oh, that actually completely breaks my my everything. So now you exclusively see the 3D visualizer. But it's in very low res. Hold on. There it is. So this is the like the farming area that we were looking at earlier. And this is right above it, with all the people huddled around the wagon. You can barely see it, probably because it's like so zoomed out. This is if you keep going down. Down to the caverns and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna exit out of that one so that we can have the normal view again, hopefully. There we go. That should have fixed it. The plan was to have that. Thank you, lady. Can the spiders from the caverns come out, or do we not need to worry about them yet? They can come out, but only if there are openings from the caverns to the world. And there are none of those openings nearby. There will be openings like out in the world if you go and explore it in adventure mode. So you might find them there, but we shouldn't find any right now because we sealed off every opening. Just waiting for the game to save. This music, by the way, is by a man called Simon Swerver, I think, who makes a lot of cool Dwarf Fortress fan music. He's got like songs that are actually sung in Dwarven and everything. This one is also sung in Dwarven, I think. This is the let's see what's it called? It's called The King is Dead is what it's called. For some reason saving is taking an extraordinarily long time. Alright. Petitions, eradicating monsters, no need for witchers here. Okay, let's set up the doors here and let's set up the food storage so we can grab all those mushrooms and put them in storage. So we had P for storage, for some reason. Stockpile, P, the P in the stockpile, I don't know. Food, F for food. Create the area, figure out the area, that's the stockpile. And now they're gonna grab all the, well, everything that's food and put it in there. So you can see they're grabbing a bunch from the wagon right now. It's stored in bags and boxes and stuff like that. But also you can just see the mushrooms themselves getting put down here. Oh, this song is cool. This is the Tankard Basher, I think. Oh, never mind. That was like at the end of the last song. We'll probably hear the Tankard Basher at some point. It's got some banging lyrics. Oh, there it is, I think. No, this is Danger Room. Plant seeds needs plum pelmet spawn. Okay, we don't have any more plum pelmet seeds. Alright, let's see. We should probably make this be... We could probably do offices, or we could do homes here. We can only fit... Let's see, we can fit an office and a home here. Because I wanna have offices this large and homes this large. There you go. I hit escape so many times, or one too many times, so many times when I'm backing out of menus and stuff. It's my bad. Okay, so the food stockpile is starting to fill up. Got some dwarven rum. We got some emu fat from that emu we killed, or that Muparadzi killed. Fishery hasn't been constructed because nobody is assigned to the fishing job. They don't have that profession. We'll sort that out in the future. We'll also get migrants soon, which will hopefully remedy some of that, some of those problems. And also remember, winter, that's when the supplies come. Let's start setting up some hotkeys here. So this will be offices and stuff. Let's see, age, F3, zoom, and new, and we'll call this residential. We'll set up some beds. These beds will be for the important people who need offices and stuff, so the expedition leader, the like scribes and stuff. And we'll set up a hallway that leads left here. That leads to the main dining, or main living places. And then I think maybe from this place we can set up something to the north here, maybe industry. So that industry isn't that far from where people live. Or actually we probably want to set up industry higher up to the surface so that they don't have to carry it that far to get to trade caravans and stuff. And also so that we can build it near where we want to put storage, because we want to put storage on this floor, I think. We could in theory put industry on this floor. Actually, let's put it on the floor below. By industry, I mean like cottage industry. I mean, you know, artisans making stuff. So you've got armorers, you've got all that stuff on this floor probably. We might have armorers and stuff further down once we get access to magma, because then we can make magma forges and stuff. And that's pretty sick. Farms, and there we go, living quarters, and then industry will be number 4, and we'll have to put that, let's see, over here. Hotkeys, hotkey 4. Go. So people have started to sleep in these beds, even though they're not claimed, or even though they don't belong to anyone. We'll get that sorted out eventually. Right now, people are just grabbing the beds that they can find, so they don't have to sleep on the floor, because that, you know, can be shitty for people, I think. Let's go upstairs, let's go to the Mason's workshop, and have Bobbert build a couple of tables. Couple of chairs, known as thrones here. A, and then the relevant hotkey to build, so A, C for chair, A, T for table. And the rest will make rock doors, and we'll use those for the living quarters. Hotel bell. Human axeman is visiting. Okay. That's another witcher. Probably not gonna hire him. We don't hire any witchers at the moment. Once we set up the actual full, like, entrance to the caverns and everything, we'll hire them on. Okay, so first industry we'll need is masonry and stuff. That industry I think we'll keep very close to the central staircase, because they're going to be making furniture, which we'll be transporting to the houses and everything, and to storage. So let's build the mason's workshop. Let's also build a stone, or like a couple of stone stockpiles nearby. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna do something I don't often do. No, actually, yeah, let's build a stone stockpile in the middle here, and then have the workshops north of it. Like so, I think. Someone is fighting again. A Kia. Not the car. Some sort of bird is fighting our dog, apparently, one of our dogs. Oh! Everyone got scared, because something is fighting. Woodcutter Wesky is fighting the Kia. Wesky went into a battle rage. I feel no terror. Or he says, the battle rages, I feel no terror. The woodcutter attacks the Kia, but she jumps away. Okay. Let's let time pass a little bit so we can see the combat log afterwards. Seems like the Kia went away. So wait, is the Kia... that's like a parrot or something? Oh, migrants have arrived. Yeah, it seems like you're destined for the military. So here come all the migrants. Streaming in from the edge of the map here. Oh. That wasn't that many. I was hoping for way more. Let's see who we've got. I'm mighty upset that the Dwarf Therapist view doesn't really work on Twitch here. What, the red one? That's an engineer, I think. Yeah, it's so strange that Dwarf Therapist doesn't show up. Hold on, properties and Dwarf Therapist. Yeah, it should be showing up, but it isn't. Oh well. No Dwarf Therapist on this stream, I'll have it fixed for the next time. Yeah, Mario, that is this guy. Aton Cuddleball, he's a peasant apparently, he has no job. Which means we can probably give him whatever job we want. See, relationships, he's got a wife, who's not here. He's got a mother, a father, a paternal grandmother, aunts, uncles, and all that. He worships a bunch of deities. Oh no, actually he believes in a bunch of deities, but he also worships 2 of them. Let's have a look at some of their gods. I've got Epo Shalsporo Rugasa, which is... oh, we can't actually look at it right now. Oh, that's too bad. We can't click on it and have some more info on it. You can have info on these deities, though. Maybe those are straight-up objects, I don't know. Worships Deller, a deity of the standard of stoking. That's our civilization. Deller most often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with metals. So we have a lady who's the lady, or the dwarf god of metals. There's a lot of books here which were written to glorify that god. So much text. Nebengig. The brown flax is a deity of the standard of stoking. The brown flax most often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with jewels. Anan is most often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with caverns and mountains. Seems we mostly have, yeah, we only have female dwarf gods, it seems. Minerals, trade and wealth. That's Idrath. And we have Ebel. Oh, that's the first male dwarf. Most often takes the form of a male dwarf and is associated with chaos, war, and fortresses. That's our god. Chaos, war, and fortresses. That's the most dwarven god of all. And then you have Ethad. It's a deity that often takes the form of a female dwarf and is associated with forgiveness, and they have a bunch of other races that worship them. Goblins, elves, and so on. This religion stuff is all randomly generated, like completely so. And that history, by the way, that all happened in this world. So, like, people talk about that and everything, and you can see the ramifications of it. Let's see. So, we should name some people here. I'm going to name the dwarves. Who should I name them after? I'll name them after people who have been in chat. Like from this stream and past streams. But our god said we need to bring chaos, war, and build new fortresses, not to forgive our enemies. Well, dwarven gods are complicated. The gods work in mysterious ways and so on. We've got 2 fishery workers, so I'm actually gonna have 1 fishery worker be something other than a fishery worker. I'll give them a job of, let's see, we got an extra pickaxe, so we can have another miner, but we probably don't need that. Let's remove the fishery stuff, and let's give them the job of... Oh, dude, let's give them the job of stone detailing. Also, someone is fighting again. The giant cave spider is fighting. It falls over, it is, oh, it's fighting a troglodyte. The troglodyte punches the giant cave spider in the mouth with his left hand, and the injured part is smashed into the body, an unrecognizable mass. Troglodyte deadass just punched a giant spider in the mouth. It's masonry, construction inactive, alright. We'll set up the Carpenters Shop over here. Just across the hall. And this will be a wood storage area this here. Set up the Crafts Dwarves shop over here. Actually, we can probably set that up over here. And we should probably also set up the brewery, because these dwarves are going to run out of ale at some point, and that is a big problem. That's one of the main things you want to avoid in this game. Once alcohol is not available, strange things start to happen to the dwarves. And by strange things, I mean like they start eating each other and killing each other and everything because they become depressed and go mad. Alcohol is one of the core pillars of the healthy dwarven diet. The Carpenter Shop. Yes, we need lots of beer. Currently we can't make beer though, because we've only got the plum helmets and they only become wine, but the dwarves are fine with wine. At least for a while. So this is going to be our storage, so I'm going to set up a huge general storage room here. See, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the Discord for names as well. Alright, let's set up a storage place for pretty much everything, I think. We need finished goods. That's the most important one. G there. E, of course, for stockpile again. Finished goods. We have a lot of those in the wagon that we need to unload, and we need to get a bunch of this stuff below ground before bad shit can start coming in. I'm also going to start building the defenses, so the first part is going to be a bridge, which will race, and we'll set that up underground, and this will make sense soon. The main idea behind this bridge is that essentially it's going to race up and create a solid wall which people can't destroy. I'm going to build that out of diorite. So we're going to set up a lever, link the lever to the bridge, and then pull the lever whenever something bad happens so that everyone inside is safe. This is the first layer of the defenses. We're going to create more layers. Like we'll have probably like winding passages over here that have traps in them and stuff. Possibly we'll set up pumps that pump lava into the onto the surface if need be. So we can probably make a like a dining hall or something over here. No, actually, let's make an inn. Let's set up one of our first inns over here. So we need some. It needs to be of some size. So that seems like a good size. We'll put the counters and stuff over here, and then we'll set up the rooms all around it, like this. So, well, inns or taverns are basically where the travelers, which you've seen pop up every now and then, will come to visit, or where they'll stay and come to visit. And also the dwarves will go there to drink, and they'll also go there to dance and to perform songs. Oh shit, we're gonna have the counter over here, so we probably don't want to have a door there. I'll make this someone's bedroom. Oh wait, shit, we don't actually have doors. I thought we made a lot of stone doors. In which case, I'll set up a table here, a chair here, and that will be the basis for an office. Actually, I'll position them better. Table there, chair there. That'll be the basis for an office, and that office will be the office of the manager, and the manager will allow us to basically tell the manager, you know, I want 30 tables, and then he'll schedule the work in every single workshop, so we don't actually have to go to the workshops manually and set everything up. Actually, I want a door anyways, because it's set up a little bit unfortunately there, or in an unfortunate manner. But who's not making... Oh, fucking Bobbert is dragging the rocks up the surface, up a bunch of flights of stairs in order to build the doors, and that is very inefficient, so I'm actually going to let him build the mason's workshop there, which he's doing now. There we go, and now we'll build the doors, because he's got the rock nearby. So this will be F5, hotkey F5, this is storage. So let's put cloth here as well. Leather in case we've got that. Some animal stuff in case we've got that. Temporary furniture storage as well. Ammo. A little bit of weapons, a little bit of armor. Gemstones. And bars and blocks, of course. Actually, no, let's not do that, because we're gonna put bars and blocks in the workshops where we'll actually be making armor and stuff out of, you know, steel and whatnot. So one of the steel bars and the coal bars and everything near that. So when designating like nobles and administrators and stuff, you hit that's M, that's military. You hit N. The nobles and administrators of Athamcatten here. So we need a manager, and the manager needs to be whoever's the best organizer, and that is this unnamed person, Ilral Zonengig. So Ilral Zonengig also requires something. Requires an office, which we're going to be setting up right now. And assign that to Ilral, the manager. And now, they're satisfied. So now I can hit U, M, and Q. So, U for this interface. I don't actually know what it's called, because I just hit U, M, Q by muscle memory. M for manager, you can see here in the bottom. Or U is, it is, hold on. Unit list. So apparently unit list, and then you go to the manager. No work orders, you hit Q for a new order. It's incredibly, incredibly tedious, but that's just the way Dwarf Fortress is. And then you type in whatever you need to do. So, a rock door, construct rock door. And then I'll set up an order for 10 rock doors, and then the manager will sort out the rest. What happened to his bed? Okay. I might have accidentally removed it. I'm gonna set up some tables here. And some doors, and we'll have our first inn. Or tavern. I'm also going to deconstruct the wagon. That way people will stop hanging around by the wagon upstairs. You can see all those spiders and everything that's vermin hanging about there. What's that? That is a peacock. Cool. People are still sleeping on the floor, apparently. Which means we need to start setting up the residential areas. This will probably be a fine residential area over here. So I'll do something like this. I can set up a statue, or actually no, this won't work. Hold on. Like this. Then have these here be the rooms. I like to make spacious rooms because the most efficient way of doing it is like rooms that look like this. Basically, so you have a door here, or sorry, like this. You have a door here, a chest or like some sort of drawers for them to have their clothes in. Another type of like thing to have their clothes in and stuff, or possessions, and then just a bed. It's like some slum dwelling that I don't really like. Instead, we're going to make it quite spacious, and I'm going to set up like a table and a chair here just in case, or like a statue or something outside. And sort of imagine this as like a... I guess an apartment building, maybe? Like each one of these is kind of like an apartment building. An animal has grown to become a stray blue peahen, so that was a tiny animal that grew up. Make dining room. Oh shit, we need doors for everything else. Actually, I'll just do this for now. Designate that like that. I'll fix it later, and then I'll hit L for assign location, add location, and then I for in tavern. So now we have the Sweetness of Rhyming is our first tavern. And now a bunch of people will probably flock to the Sweetness of Rhyming and hang out there. I'll probably dig down some stairs into the ground here and set up some like a cellar for us to store the alcohol in the tavern. I just right-clicked his scene, and Discord is like, yeah, let's swap scenes. Why? Let's see. Alright, well, speaking of taverns, the tavern is starting to fill up, but speaking of taverns, I'm going to go grab a drink and take a quick break, so I'll be right back in like 3 minutes. Be right back. I return with ale in hand. Sunpause, deny all these Monster Hunter petitions, cause fuck that. Not gonna open up the caverns yet. Set up doors and beds for the the primary residential areas. Also gives everyone a little bit of stuff to do. Oh, we're
is at hand.
autumn and then winter. Winter is when shit gets bad. So now we need to start working on our well, because we need water. It's very important. Extremely important. And also, I believe it isn't this winter, but I believe it's next winter, or is it next summer, that we can get invaders, which means the goblins will start attacking. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, on the agenda right now. Well, first. Booze production. Lodgings, or like beds, bedrooms. Get our nobles set up. And then start focusing on the industry itself. At the moment, we'll just build industry to sort the needs that we have, or like our current needs, like the aforementioned stuff that we need to build. And as Wesky mentioned, we need lots of beer. And speaking of, hopefully this won't be too loud. That peaked extremely on the mixer, but hopefully it's not that bad. There we go, autumn has come. It was alright. What can was it? Well, that was a can of beer of a local brand called Nordlands Beer. It is, or Nordlands Öl. It is, or actually it's called Nordlands Pils, actually. It's basically the beer that was brewed in my hometown. But then they moved the brewery up north, I think? Or was it south? Either way, it was moved out of my hometown and then kind of lost the whole appeal of being the northern beer or whatever. Yeah, the can itself looks kind of cool. And next purchase, you should do an above-ground maximum security castle. So Rory, first of all, hello, and thank you for checking out the stream. I kind of can still do that right now, because I can. So first of all, this bridge here, which isn't being built yet because we don't have a mechanic, that can be rather temporary for now, and we can get rid of that and actually start building like a full-on above-ground castle. I haven't done a lot of above-ground castles. I've done like one, and I have a lot of fun when I do them. So like we could build like the military above ground and have everything else below ground. Though that creates the problem of dwarves going upstairs and getting sun sickness and such.
Oh, sir, we don't have a caravan stop.
Wait, a caravan has arrived in autumn. I thought they were meant to arrive in winter. Oh well, shit, we need to build a depot. Let's build it just up here, because we haven't, you know, haven't really dug out the space below ground. Let's see if we have more people on architecture or something, or could have more. Yeah, we've got Boring Artichoke, the peasant who's not doing anything really. So we'll set them up for the architecture profession as well. And honestly, I'll put them on carpentry as well. I am your liaison from the mountain homes, says Olin Oslandinoth. Let's discuss your situation. There's much to share. A lot of stuff has happened in the world, okay. What requests do you have for our merchants? Begin discussion. So I'm gonna request that they bring probably meat, I think, or no, actually I'm gonna request seeds. That's probably the most important thing. I believe if you buy seeds, you also get the bags as well that they come in. Where even are the seeds, if you can buy them? You should be able to buy them. Oh, there we go, seeds. Let's get a bunch of plum pelmet spawns, and that's probably it. We don't have a lot of stuff to trade with them, so let's see how much more expensive is that now that we requested that they bring them. 146%, so 46% more expensive. Well, let's hope that we get the... yeah, we're getting it built. The trading depot. Export agreement. They want to buy crowns, earrings. Okay, so they want to buy a bunch of finished goods. So, let's see, we built the Dwarves workshop, didn't we? No, we didn't. There you go, Dwarves, and we'll put that here. Building it out of limestone is kind of a waste. I can deconstruct it later on. Limestone is used as a flux stone, so it's used for the production of steel and stuff in the future. So I want to save up some of that. By the way, Rory, if you're still here, do you want a dwarf name after you? Because I think we've got one spare. Yes, we do. We've got a miner. Right, do you want the full Rory C games or just Rory? Let's make a bunch of crowns, because crowns were going for going for high prices. Just Rory, okay. Sorry for not showing the Dwarf Therapist interface where I'm doing the changing of the names and professions and whatnot. I tried to show it in Twitch, but I tried to like set it up in OBS, but for some reason it's not even showing up when I like actually designate that process to be shown. Don't know why. It worked last time I tested, so I'll try to have it fixed by next stream though, or next video I make for YouTube or whatever. Alright, so the bridge is built. Let's set up the levers and stuff. We should probably put them somewhere where they will be reachable at a short notice. Honestly, since we've got the food storage and stuff up here for now, there will be But like that'll be reachable very fast, so I'll build the levers over here. And let's see, we need levers. Oh no, sure, we need mechanics. Or mechanisms, I mean. 10 mechanisms should be good for the lever and the bridge. We'll need to make a mechanics shop and stuff, so let's go down to the industry layer and set up a mechanics shop. Build it out of diorite. Oh shit, he's making limestone crowns. We should probably make him not do that. Let's see, workshop profile. Labor restrictions. No, that's not it. We gotta do, we gotta do like specific work orders to do that. Probably if we set up a rock storage over here, or stone storage, and then disallow limestone, and then make the workshop only take from the storage, then he won't actually make anything out of limestone. So let's drop that, drop the economic stone, keep only other stone, and then make him, let's see, profile. How do you do that again? There's a way to like link, give to a pile / workshop, there we go. So give to that craft source workshop. I think that'll work. Does that make him take from that though? I hope so. Okay, so now we need a trader, which is the broker. That'll be me then, Fredda. Competent persuader, adequate judge of intent, and adequate appraiser. Those are his skills, or her skills. That's it. R, Q, obviously to interact with a workshop or a building or anything. R to ask that a trader be needed at the depot. Then we'll wait until the trader gets there, and then we'll, actually let's move goods from the depot. Should have some finished goods we can sell. One granite crown. Let's get that a jeweler's shop set up over, like down here. Let's build one just quickly over here. Out of limestone because it's the closest one. That's Rory there. Falling a bunch of rocks. That's actually taking a long time, so I'm gonna have our craftsman, or sorry, our carpenter, make some wheelbarrows. Because wheelbarrows make the hauling of wood and stuff, rocks and stuff, way faster. Got carpenters, right? We do have carpenters, yes. We also have one guy set up as a stone detailer, which means that he will smooth stone, which I'm going to start doing here. I'm going to select all this and designate it to be smoothed. That's why it splashes white now. So a character will be running around here, like smoothing all the stone around here. So that it looks like actual rock walls instead of this like garbage stone here. And after that, we can start engraving the walls with aspects of our history, of our culture, and everything. And that's going to be awesome. Let's also ask for some rock coffers, which are chests. And let's ask for some rock cabinets for people to store clothes and stuff in. Start giving these to people who don't have beds. I don't have one, for example. The manager should have one over here. That's actually Rory, who's the manager. And then Graydon gets a bed, and Kyoko gets a bed. Wesky. And yeah, everyone has a bed. It seems like Aussie Dane and Artichoke are lovers or married or something, so they share a bed apparently.
Ach, I fished all the fish there are, so there's no more fish.
Okay, we need a new, new furniture storage. God, that sound is so annoying. I need to delete that. Oh god. And now it's like exclusively in the right ear. Hold on. See if it pops up again. Yes, it did. I couldn't see what sound effect it was, though. Thinking of just deleting the sound file for that sound. Yeah, we actually have the trader now here. Let's move some more goods to the depot. And let's see if we can actually buy anything with that single crown. So this is the trade interface where you got the goods that you want to sell and buy on the left, and these are the goods that we're offering on the right.